Hello everyone, Flux Kontext is here, the best open source image editing model today. I'll show you 7 examples where it rocks and delivers amazing results. Let's dive into the details, squeeze every bit of value, and no more talking. Let's start. Let's dive into the first demo. Imagine an old photo of Einstein. With Flux Kontext, we restore it, enhance details, and bring the past to life. Now, let's see how it transforms a character. This Viking warrior was calm, but with Flux Kontext, we'll make him raise his hand and shout for victory. We can also task the model to add text with the font and style we want. Next up, you have a flyer to edit. No need for Photoshop. Just ask Flux Kontext. It'll do it in seconds. Adjust fonts, layouts, or add logos. Perfect for marketing. What about unwanted objects? Flux Kontext vanishes them. Here, I asked it to remove a controller and VR headset, letting characters talk naturally. For product ads, here I'm asking the model to make the man wear the watch, and the result is amazing and consistent. Similar use case with a phone. Any object works. The text is generated by the model. I just refine it. If you run an online store, this is a Swiss Army knife. Finally, want to redesign a room? Flux Kontext adds furniture, improves layouts, and turns spaces into masterpieces. ComfyUI now has native Flux Kontext support. To use it, first update to the latest version. If you need help, I've linked a tutorial on how to install ComfyUI. Use the ComfyUI Manager for a fast update. I always update both ComfyUI and the Manager together to avoid issues and keep the system consistent. I think everything is in place. Just wait for ComfyUI to reboot and we are good to go. Head to the menu, then Workflow, and select Browse Template. Under Flux, you'll see 2 new workflows, Flux Kontext Basic and Flux Kontext Grouped. Let me explain it briefly. We will use basic tools to edit an element in a picture. If we want to add multiple elements to a given picture, we will use grouping, as demonstrated in the example of the model wearing a watch. Let's start with our first workflow for restoring and coloring an old picture. By the way, in this note, you'll find everything you need to download the Flux Kontext models, the VAE, and the text encoder. You also have a map showing where to place each file. Next, you'll get a quick overview of the VRAM requirements. If you have less than 20 GB, no need to worry, you can still watch the tutorial. I'll provide a workflow compatible with low VRAM GPUs using the GGUF model, and as always, you'll find a link in the description. Everything's settled for the first image restoration. Let's honor Einstein's legacy by giving him a vibrant and colorful comeback. My God, this is mind-blowing. The colors are perfectly applied, and the picture details are preserved. His hair is colored one by one. The exposure is astonishing. The coloration isn't overly modern, resembling a smartphone's oversaturated tones, but it looks like it was taken by an old generation camera model closest to this era. As promising as it is, let's test the model with a more complex image. This time, I'll choose a picture of a Native American leader. At first glance, this is a good result, but let me zoom in on the image for a closer look. The model 100% nailed it. Every detail is extremely well colored, from the feather to the man's face, exposure, hand, and clothes. You'll never think this picture was colored by an AI model. Next example, character consistency. We start with a character image and try to place it in another situation. Here's the Viking king. Look calm and steady. Let's use the model to make him scream for victory. Also, we'll add a text overlay to the image. A best practice is to placing the text between quotes to define the message clearly. Finally, I asked the model to use a wooden font just for fun and to match the forest theme. In the second run, I asked the model to add metal screw to the text. I want to see if it can place them correctly, or they will fall randomly all over the text or the picture. My intuition was right. The model understood well what I'm asking for. Amazing. If you think that there are some missing screws, you just need to bump up the number of steps to 25 or 30. As simple as that. To clarify a point, I used WAN to animate the picture you've seen in the demo. You'll find the link to the episode on how to use WAN in the description. I'll also provide the workflow for each video. Note, the workflow is embedded within the video itself. Simply drag and drop it into ComfyUI. We're reaching the third example, and this use case is a game changer. Just watch how the model transformed this flyer with unmatched precision. I asked the model to modify the product name and adjust the discount amount. Delicious Burger will be transformed into a delightful cheeseburger, with the discount seamlessly adjusted from 25% to 35%. This is the result. I'm speechless. Let me zoom in to see the details better. The model's precision is incredible, and the changes are seamless. You'll see how the text and visuals align perfectly. I will never doubt that this change was made with AI. This is AI at its finest. And if this isn't enough, let me quickly show another example. I'll replace the burger with a pizza slice and adapt the text. The model seamlessly adjusts the layout, updates the product name. Watch how the text aligns perfectly with the image style and font is respected. The model's precision is simply unmatched. Move on to the next example here. We use the model to remove unwanted objects from a picture without the need for inpainting. Imagine you have a perfect vacation photo, but there's an unwanted object in the background, like a trash can or a random pole. Here's how the model can automatically detect, isolate, and remove the object while preserving the rest of the image. Let's remove those arms floats to give this kid a great vacation souvenir. A quick tip to get great results is to structure your prompt properly. Here, I started by asking the model to do the main task, remove the floats. Remember, the beginning of the prompt is more important than its end. Next, I asked the model to restore the kid's arm, followed by instructions to not add legs and explain that the kid is half submerged by water. In this case, the model won't assume it needs to generate the lower body because the prompt guides it to focus only on the visible part. As you can see, the result is just amazing. So, enjoy enhancing your vacation pictures. And let's jump to the next example. This example and the next ones will be of great value for small business owners looking to cut ad creation costs and automate marketing. Here, I'll help you learn how to turn a basic product image into a professional ad just like before. It all starts with the prompt. So first, we need to change the background to something more appropriate for the product. Here, we're branding for a smartphone, so a minimalist desk could be a good starting point. Next, we add the product name and slogan. As you can see, I start by specifying the location of the text in the image. Add text in the top right corner. Then I add my message between quotes, and I end the sentence with a full stop. This tells the model that this is an independent element. Finally, I add the price in the same way as the first text. Add the price at the bottom right corner. The first result wasn't perfect. No worries. Let's fix it quickly by refining the prompt. I only replaced the price text to the left side. Okay, but we can do better. So I order the model to color the text in white. Great, I just want to show this. It looks like an unfinished task. Because the model is asked to work on 3 tasks, but as you can see, it only ran for 20 steps. So, if you encounter a similar situation, just bump up the number of steps. Here, I'll set steps to 30 and use a better sampler. Euler Ancestral. Okay, this result looks nice. Let me zoom in to see better. This is really a good starting point, and you can post this on your online store confidently. If you want more detail and to adapt the ad to your store's graphical style, just adjust the prompt as I showed you. Bump up the number of steps and experiment with the sampler. Here's how to save money on hiring a graphic designer or buying expensive software, and save time doing it yourself. We're not done yet. Here's another example, this time for architects or designers. Suppose you're looking for inspiration, want to speed up your project, or are just someone wanting to add furniture to your home. This is for you. The result is original. I didn't expect to see this mix of red and yellow with the sofas facing each other, but I kind of like it. Personally, if I were doing the color selection, I might have gone the safe side and chose white or beige, but definitely I like this yellow-red mix. Okay, let's work on this design and add a family and bring life and joy to this room. That's unbelievable! This model can literally do anything with huge quality just with a few words. It runs locally, is 100% free, and has real business value. You can post this on an e-commerce site selling furniture, use it yourself to add furniture to your home, or scale it for a business. I will let you compute the amount of money you can save with this model. Here we are in the last example, and this is my favorite. If you've ever experienced how hard it is to shoot a video for a good ad, you know the struggle of just getting a few seconds of footage. You need days of work. But with Flux Kontext, I'll make this model wear the watch and then generate a video in just a few minutes. This example is based on the group template, and it will be available for download. The link is in the description. As you can see, the prompt is quite simple. I've just bumped the steps to 50 and used Euler Ancestral as sampler. Let's take a look at this node, the empty SD3 latent. In the previous workflow, this node was present but bypassed. I'm keeping it here to explain its purpose. So, if you're editing a single image, the same input is encoded and passed to the model as a latent. However, when working with groupings like here, you must provide an empty latent because the 2 given images will be concatenated. The model requires an empty latent to apply modifications, and this also fixes the shape of the output image, which works best with Flux Kontext. Enough theory, this is the result. That's really good. If you ask why the watch crown is in the wrong direction, check the input image. The model placed the watch on the man's wrist without performing a 180-degree flip. So, if you have a similar use case, either position the watch in the correct direction before generation or refine your prompt. However, I recommend the first option. Here we're reaching the end of this tutorial on how to use Flux Kontext. Hope you found it helpful. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel, like the video, and thank you for watching. See you in the next episode.